thank you for joining Wars of the Rosies as we continue with Lesson 12, I Send My Messenger, of International Esoteric and Illuminated Bible Lessons by R. Swinburne Clymer. International Illuminated Bible Lessons, prepared for the Sunday Schools of the Church of Divine Illumination, Matthew 11th chapter, 1st through 16th verses. Golden text. Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare the way before thee. John the Baptist was the forerunner or messenger of the Christ, sent to prepare the way for him. John represents the mental teacher. John baptized with water, and water means mind. He baptized with mind, mental laws, mental healing, and teaching. He was followed by the Son of God, who would baptize with fire. The soul is fire, and when we are baptized with the soul of Christ, we have received the baptism of the Holy Ghost or fire. But John seemed to doubt his own teaching, for he sends two of his disciples to Jesus and said unto him, Verse 3, Art thou he that should come, or do we look for another? John saw the Spirit descend in the form of a dove which sat upon Jesus, and he heard the voice of the Spirit proclaiming him, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased. And yet John, in prison, doubts. Verse 4, And Jesus said unto him, Go and show John again those things which ye do hear and see. Verse 5, The blind receive their sight, and the lame walk. The lepers are cleansed, and the deaf hear, and the dead are raised up, and the poor have the gospel preached to them. Verse 6, Blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. John, as a mentalist, demanded manifestation and works, and that is why Jesus gave them his works in healing as a witness and proof of his sonship. We may develop great mental powers and yet not develop the Christ soul. We build soul with every thought, and mind is the builder. But not until we are baptized with fire have we obtained sonship or soulship. John knew not the fire baptism. It was not given yet. Jesus alone taught it openly. Some teachers claim that Jesus taught these truths against the law of the initiates and adepts. But this is not true. In every age, one is prepared to teach the truth to all nations. The world demands these currents and vibrations at certain times and seasons, or it would have been destroyed long ago. The time is now at hand when the vibrations of truth must be preached throughout the world, and for the same reason that Jesus taught. The coarse, heavy, sensual, and material vibrations must be purified or the world is destroyed. Therefore, blessed is he who shall not be offended in me, for it is salvation and life. Verse 7. In this verse, Jesus wonders at John's doubt and unbelief. He says, What went ye out into the wilderness for to see? A reed shaken with the wind. Mental laws are easily shaken with varying winds, as John, the greatest of teachers, proved. He was a mentalist. Let this be a warning to you, who are not so great as he. Follow but one teacher. Do not run after strange gods, and be sure that you follow the things of the soul, for then you will not be misled by mentalists who know not the things of the soul. See that you are a disciple who leads others to the soul science also. Verse 8. Yet Jesus lifts him above the material. John's plane was mental. What went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. The kings in kings' houses were of the material, and John was more than material. He was above all the material laws and desires. Verse 9. Was he a prophet? Yea, more than a prophet. Verse 10. For that is he of whom it was written, Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare the way before thee. Jesus knew the laws of John. He understood also why John doubted. The imprisoned mind is swayed by doubtful thoughts. John attained all that mind could attain. He expected Jesus to assist him, but Jesus understood the law and that the mental teachings would live, even as the soul teachings must live, even though the teacher's work was ended. Jesus knew his time was coming also, that each teacher must follow the others as their teachings would follow each other. Verse 11, Verily I say unto you, among them that are born of woman, there hath not risen a greater than John the Baptist. Notwithstanding, he that is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. We may develop great mental power, but the development of the soul is greater. Brilliancy and intellectuality are not soul builders unless guided into the right channels. Any mind can develop souls of wonderful brightness, beauty, and truth. Intellect has not much to do with it, for an ignorant man who has soul is greater than the intellectual man without soul. Verse 12, And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Verse 13, For all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. Verse 14, And if ye receive it, this is a lies which was for to come. When the prophets and the law prophesied, the kingdom of heaven was of the future. No man openly preached that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, as did John and Jesus, when they preached this truth in such a simple, satisfactory way and in direct opposition to the expectations of the Jews, who had looked forward to a material earthly kingdom and a king and a God for themselves alone. Then violence was manifested. God within mortal man was a shock to the Jews, as it is to the Orthodox of today. Yet they considered not that God is an unexplainable, mysterious thing, far beyond their solution. The mysteries of death is satisfactorily solved by many, but few know the mysterious force that throbs through their being and creates them into life and vitality. The kingdom of heaven within John and Jesus suffered violence by force. Both came to violent, material death. The unveiled mystery of taking the kingdom of heaven by violence should now be understood by the student. This is Elias, which was for to come, the reincarnation of the soul of Elias, the great prophet. John was greater in this age than Elias in the Old Testament age, for he preached the time at hand, and he knew it was at hand. The Christ and his coming in the Old Testament was only a prophecy, a vision of truth, and not the truth manifested and lived. Verse 15, He that hath ears to hear, let him hear. Listen with the soul in the name of the soul, and receive the soul's reward. Behold, I send my messenger before thy face, which shall prepare the way before thee, purify the mind, create thoughts of love, purity, and righteousness, and this will prepare the soul for the Christ or kingdom of heaven. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. And please consider donating to Wars of the Rosies. Links to PayPal and Patreon are in the description. Thank you so very much.